Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining us. All right, this segment we have Laura Gross, marketing consultant. Laura Gross, marketing consultant, profitable positioning, thelauragross.com. But we also have in studio a talk show host who actually has done a commercial for us too, Robin Kennedy. Robin, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
All right, Laura, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, and please come on in, tell us a little bit about yourself, and let's dive into what LauraGross.com does.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for having me, Michael. It's a pleasure. And hi, Robin. How are you?
Just great.
All right, give us some.
Okay, dive in. I'm a marketing consultant.
Go ahead, Laura.
Okay. I went from being a newspaper reporter to a marketing consultant and had a career through the American Banker. I just started as a reporter, became the first woman on the masthead in 150 years, covered financial services marketing, and while I was there, since I've never been accused of coloring in between the lines, I intrapreneured the American Banker Consumer Survey. It was a separate feature magazine. It made a profit, and it was a platform for me to give speeches and drive subscription growth. And then I got hired by American Express to do what I've been writing about, positioning, marketing, strategy. And I work for other financial services companies, J.P. Morgan Chase, Muriel Siebert and Company, and just to keep it interesting. In the middle of it all, I got a master's of science in Chinese medicine, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I don't practice, but I help all sizes of companies from my website, which is thelauragross.com. From some of the best-known brands in financial services to the smallest individual service providers, reimagine themselves, take a fresh look at their products, services, websites, and marketing materials.
And Laura, I'm going to interrupt for a moment. With the branding, I know my dad was in advertising, and whenever I think of branding, I think of Harley Davidson and companies such as that, where you automatically have an image. How do you help people starting their business to find their brand?
Well, it's a really good question. So really, it's a, if you will, it's a process. Okay. So, assuming you have a product or service to sell, the key to creating a strong brand, I think, begins with you study the competition, know what your values and goals are, know what your strengths and weaknesses are, be brutally honest with yourself, don't be afraid to ask for input and feedback. After you've come up with a sense of who you are and what your competition offers, you put that all together, kind of stir briskly, and ideally you will call forth a brand that's unique. Aim to create a path where there is none. Unless you have a better mousetrap, that's the best you can do. Find the happy point of conjunction where what you offer meets a profound customer need, whether it's a B2B product and service or a B2C product and service, and where you may have ideally a sustainable competitive advantage. So I think that, what I do is I review the company's products and services, its marketing materials, especially the website, and its competition. Interview the management, employees, and some customers about what everybody thinks the company does, what its strengths and weaknesses are, and who it's best for. Then I think about it. I stir, and the creativity light flashes with some positioning ideas. Ideally, the computer in my head will have hit on something everyone agrees is perfect, but if there's more than one way to go, I recommend the company spend a little bit of money, and there are plenty of inexpensive ways to do this on Google AdWords and Facebook, et cetera, as you know, Robin, today, to test different messaging with its target market to be sure it's, as you say, the right brand.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the keys to a successful biz, I mean, you've given us a lot of wonderful information, but what do you think are the main keys for these people to have a successful business in addition to the branding?
It's really, as I said, I come to branding and entrepreneuring sort of organically. It's kind of how my brain works, and it doesn't work in a linear functional manner. It works synchronously,
Okay.
holistically.
Would you say
if
that's
you
sort of a
will.
female thing too, that we approach things a little bit more organically than a lot of men in business? Or is that too
I
much of
think
an
that's
assumption?
absolutely true. Absolutely. And I think that business can use more of that because I think that it is the key to a successful business. Because when you're linear functional, Robin, isn't it so that you have blinders on, if you will?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking straight ahead to the next step. Do this step, to the next step, then the next step. And somehow you aren't allowing other information in. And so I think, especially for entrepreneurs today, for any business, for example, let's talk about banks for one moment, okay, which are banks or financial services companies, investment companies, which I have a lot of experience with which. So say they're doing things the way they used to do them, and they don't see Amazon, Google, and all the robo-advisors coming because fintechs are coming. And, if they're just doing things through a distribution channel and a little bit online and a mobile phone, you're just not going to see what's coming. And so I guess, I think it's on my website. I say who you are, what you offer, who you serve, how you do it. All of these together create a harmony.
Well, Laura, we have about 1 more minute, and as a female talking to a female, and not to be too much of a women's liber here, but even though women have come a long way, in quotes, what one or two pieces of advice would you give a woman trying to break into a male business world?
Be brave.
Be brave.
And, if there's no door, kick it in.
Okay.
Kick in the wall.
Love it. Love it.
And you can find me at thelauragross.com.
Okay, would you repeat that one more time, please?
That is thelauragross.com, LAURAGROSS.com.
Perfect.
It's The Laura Gross. The other one wasn't available.
Okay.
And I'm here to help with websites, marketing materials, positioning, and I'm available for consult at your convenience.
Awesome. You're obviously a very powerful woman. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
Thanks for having me today. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome, Laura. Thanks for coming on the show. All right, you've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba, Ed Baxter, and Robin White. We're going to sign off for today, but this segment brought to you by Tycon Partners. Thanks for being on the show with us and listening to us. Don't forget our podcasts. You can get them anywhere. We'll be back tomorrow with more great content.